I used a method where I taped around the damaged area and then added several layers of glass. I feel like this allows me to build up these areas in a way that's easy to sand down and taper later. This area in the middle was the biggest repair I did. The damage was all the way through the hole. I started by adding glass from the inside of the hole and then grinding down the outside of the hole as well and adding some glass back. I still have to take care of the back corners. Those are always an issue, as well as figuring out how to glass in the exhaust tube. I used whatever leftover epoxy I had to build it up and make it a little thicker and a little stronger, but I just need to figure out how I'm going to close that gap and make the transition from the back piece to the tube itself. On the inside, this is what mounts your stock exhaust. It's got 3 threaded inserts into it that you actually screw into. I had to remove that and all of the glue to make sure I can get a good surface to bond to. Other than that, it's looking pretty good. I'll get to sanding. After a ton of sanding, vacuuming, and repeating, I'm starting to get down to a good product, at least on this starboard side. I haven't touched the ones on the port side over there just yet, but this is taking a couple hours. So what I ended up doing was just using a lot of these blocks and trying not to use too much of a like electric sander because I don't want to make it uneven, but it's turning out pretty well. It's tough to justify how much time I want to spend on the bottom. It will just get dinged up again, but a lot of these gouges were pretty deep. Next step will be to use some fairing compound and kind of build it up and smooth it out and then sand it again. And then this is after I was done with all the sanding on both sides. Probably need at least one more good session of glassing, especially because I haven't done those back corners yet. And then I should be able to do the fairing and the final prep before paint. Pretty sick of sanding, so I decided to change my attention to the top side here. I'm going to go ahead and rebuild the bearing carrier off camera. I'm probably going to do a batch like 3 of them, but in the meantime, I'm going to mark out the holes for the motor mounts. I decided to use the 1100 mounts that come on the ZXI and STX 1100 just to give it a little more support with that added weight of the engine. After doing some research online in the forums, I found that you can reuse those front holes. You just have to relocate the rear holes. There's an aluminum bar that goes all the way the length of that plate there. So if you just line up a ruler with the front holes, you can mark it out and find the center for your rear hole location. As you can see, I did there in pencil. From there, I'll just drill and tap based on the distance from the front hole to the rear hole of the 1100 mount. This process is detailed in a write-up on PWC Today. It's in a forum called How I Built My 62 mile per hour SXR 1100. I'll throw a link to that in the description for the video. The guy who did the original post did a great job of on his build for one, and then detailing how he did a lot of the things in there. Engine mount install process was pretty straightforward, pretty enjoyable. Kind of stressed me out at first, but once I got the locations marked out in the first one done, it wasn't too bad. What I did was used a 1/8 inch drill bit to do the kind of the pilot hole, and then I followed it up with the tap set. I just have this one. It's the DeWalt 8mm M8 by 1.25. Has the bit and the tap that you need for it. When I was drilling through on this one, I was kind of leaning a little too far and I kind of fell as I went through the metal and did drill all the way through the bottom of the hole. So it added one more hole for me to repair on the bottom. With the mounts all taken care of, the next thing I'm going to do is put in some mounts for the gas tank. If you recall, I'm doing the 7.3 liter aluminum gas tank, and I don't have anywhere to strap it down to. So right here and right here, I'm going to glass in some UFO mounts so I can get that gas tank secure. I've got it all prepped. So what I like to do when I don't want to get epoxy somewhere is I actually just use Play-Doh, and so I filled the threaded part of this UFO mount with the Play-Doh, the purple, you can see it there. And then what I'm going to do is first layer, second layer, third layer of glass, and then these will be what the straps actually attach to. I got I believe these from Showtime Freestyle, and I got these from High Speed Industries. Got the mounts glassed in. I think they turned out pretty well. Just 3 layers of glass on each one. I think that'll be strong enough. Hopefully that works out. Also just use my extra epoxy to fill in a couple holes up here. Just trying to make the most of it. Alright, they're all installed and looking pretty good. This should be super strong. I think that'll work out nicely.